I think I have one more example to show you about procedures. We were talking about how procedures are PL SQL programs that have a name, and these PL SQL programs, when they get created as objects of the database. And the whole purpose of these programs are that if you want to execute that code, then all you have to do is call that procedure or that program, which is in this case a procedure, by its name. And if that procedure receives certain values, you pass those values as parameters, and then the procedure executes and gives you some type of result. Okay, so what we have over here is on this in SQL Developer is just what I wrote the other day, where I was talking about the different modes of the parameters, and I said that there is an in mode, which is the default, where these parameters only accept values. Okay, the out mode is when you create a parameter that is used to send one or more values out of the procedure. Okay, so if you're sending one value out, you create one parameter that's of out mode. If you're passing two values out, then you create two parameters that are of out mode. That's what I meant by saying that passing one or more values. Okay, so as many number of out parameters that you have, those are the number of values that are being sent out by the procedure. Then you have the in-out mode, where in the case of in-out, the parameter is not only able to receive a value, but its value can be modified, and its modified value is then sent out of the procedure. Okay, so I gave you, I think, an example which was to do with the summation of two numbers, and I showed you the difference between the in-out and in-out modes. Okay, I'll show you one more example of a procedure that has an in-out mode, so that I can then move on to functions. Now, the topic on functions is not a very long topic. Okay, there are some fundamental differences about procedures and functions, and once you get that concept straight, they are very, very similar in all other respects. Okay, so the functions topic itself I think it may not take too long, and once I have done that, I will go over a bunch of programs with you so that you get a good understanding of how procedures and functions work, because I definitely need procedures and functions to do packages. Okay, and packages just makes procedures and functions, it blows it up into, it expands the whole concept, and you definitely have to be pretty comfortable with procedures and functions to understand packages. So I'm going to show you one more example of a procedure over here that uses an in-out parameter, just so that I can explain some of the concepts that we already did the other day. So here I'm creating a procedure called format phone, okay, and it's receiving a parameter called phone that's of in-out type, and it's a character parameter. Okay, is begin, and what I'm writing over here might look a little bit complicated, but it's really not that bad. Okay, so double pipe that with substring phone 1 3. That with close. Now, if you notice over here, there are lots of substrings being done, and I will do a quick review of what the substring function is all about before I actually go ahead and explain this particular program to you. Okay, now just quickly looking at what a substring function does. Okay, now if I have substring of hello, and I say hello, and I say, starting from the second character, pull out 3 characters. Okay, now this is what the substring function, this is how the substring function works. It receives a character string as an input, and then the second parameter or second argument refers to the starting position, and the third argument refers to the number of characters that you want to extract. Okay, now that's what substring does. It allows you to extract a portion of the string. So if I am going to start from position number 2, which is this, and I'm going to extract 3 characters, the substring function is going to return ELL. Okay, so that is what this example would do. Now, if I said substring of hello, and I said starting from position number 3, and I don't mention a third argument, this is what will happen. It will start from position number 3 and go up to the end of the string. Okay, so the result of substring of hello comma 3 is going to be LLO. Okay, so here I have create or replace procedure format phone, and I said it receives a parameter called phone that's of in-out type, and it's a character, and it's a character parameter. And what is happening within this particular procedure is that something is happening to the value of the parameter called phone. That means I'm actually doing a whole lot of double pipes over here with substrings. So let's see what is really going on. Okay, now in essence, the program, this is what the program is supposed to do. Okay, if I have a let's say I have a sequence of numbers which look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay, so if I have a sequence of numbers like this, and let's say this is supposed to represent someone's phone number. Okay, now if and let's say this is a character string. Okay, usually phone numbers don't always come in just digits. They usually come with other characters. So I'm going to assume that even though it looks like a sequence of characters, this is a character. Even though it looks like a sequence of digits, it is a character string. And let's say that this is what is sent as input called format phone. That means the phone parameter initially holds this type of a value. Now what will happen is that this procedure is going to receive this character string and format it. So by the time this program or this procedure finishes, the result of the procedure is going to look like this. It is going to convert that sequence of digits to look like this. It's what I would call as a formatted phone number. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 in parentheses, and then 4, 5, 6 hyphen 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay, so this is a formatted phone number, and that's what's really happening with these open brace, close brace, and then you have the substring being done. Okay, so let me just quickly go over this part so that you understand what the results will look like. It begins with an open parenthesis, which is going to create this, and then I say substring the phone number starting from position 1 by 3 characters. So that's giving you 1, 2, 3. And then I combine that with a close brace, and then I continue again combining it with, it says substring the phone number from position number 4, 3 characters. So position number 4 is this, 3 characters is going to give me 4, 5, 6, which is this one, and then I'm going to combine that with a dash. Okay, so that's what's being done over here, and then I'm combining that with another substring, which is starting from position number 7, go up to the end of the string. Okay, so starting from position number 7, it's this. Okay, so this is literally the 7th. The 7 over here does not mean anything. It is the 7th position. Okay, so this is position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7th, from starting from the 7th position right up to the end of the string, you have to do the last. That's what the last substring is doing, and is returning this part. Okay, so here, that's what the procedure is supposed to do. It's supposed to receive a character string and then format it to give you this formatted result. So I'm going to go ahead and invoke it. So once the procedure, let me go ahead and first create the procedure. Okay, so the procedure format phone has been compiled. That means it has been created as an object of the database. Okay, the next part of it is invoking that particular procedure. And we know that in the case of an in-out, that means a value is being sent in and modified by the procedure, and the modified value is recognized outside the procedure also. Now, because I need to receive a modified value outside of the procedure, I have to pass a variable, okay, which holds some initial value as the value for phone. Now, to do that, I need to create a variable, okay, using, let's say, a variable command, and I say I'm creating a variable called ph, which is varchar 2 of, I'll just make it as 20. Okay, so I'm creating a variable called ph, which I'm going to use to pass as input. Okay, then I'm going to initialize this ph. Okay, to do that, I have to reference it with a colon inside the body of the program, and then here is my character string, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then end. So this PL SQL block that I am writing is used so that this particular parameter get some initial value. Okay, I have to use execute run script each time. When I do this run statement, it gives me a problem. Okay, so execute script has gone ahead and executed this PL SQL block, which would mean that this string is now stored in this variable. I'm now going to have to call that particular procedure called format_phone, and to it I'm going to pass the argument or parameter called ph. Okay, so when I pass ph to it, the value has been, it says anonymous block, so it has been received by this formal parameter, and the value has been modified. And if I want to check the modified value, I would say print ph. Okay, so print ph is going to give me the result, which is the formatted phone number with all those braces and with all the parentheses and the hyphen. Now, just to quickly show you also how I could have called it using a PL SQL block. I'm doing this more really as a review so that you try to recall the things, because most of it is required even when you're doing functions. Okay, so if I am using another PL SQL block, I would create a variable over here, a local variable. I can create one which, let's say, is called ph, and I would initialize it over here like this. Okay. And then I can go ahead and in the body of the program, I will call the procedure by its name as a separate statement, pass the parameter that I want, and then display the value of that variable. Put underscore find. Okay, the value of the variable inside the PL SQL block itself. Okay, so here we have the formatted phone number being displayed like this. Okay, so we have over here a parameter receiving a value, which is receiving this and then modifying its value through this, and then the modified value is recognized outside the procedure by this. Okay, so this was basically what was known as an in-out parameter. And you have to one important thing that you have to remember about procedures is procedures may or may not, okay, send out values. Okay, and if they send out values, it is done using out and in-out parameters. Okay, so that's very, very important. And it's also that we also know that you don't necessarily have to send out a value. The other day, the very first thing that I did was I wrote a block where I kept showing you the price of product number 5. And I said when I call the procedure, it will always display the price of product number 5. So when it's only having in parameters and it does something, then it's not sending out any values. Do any of you have any questions? Clear? Okay, now let me move on to the next topic. I'll come back to do more programs on procedures and functions once I've finished with the theory behind functions. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear this, and next topic is to do with functions. Now, functions are similar to PL procedures in the sense they are also PL SQL blocks that have a name. Okay, they are also PL SQL blocks that perform some given task. Okay, and most importantly, functions always return only one value. Okay, so this is very, very important, probably the most important point over here, where I would say that they return only one value, and the word that I'm using is return only one value. Okay, and very often you use functions